Hello and welcome to Owls of Africa, or in this case, 10 hours that give in Africa, or whatever how many hours are in Africa. I don't know. What I do know is that we are going through 10, so yes. So, first up, we are looking for an owl that is similar to the Australian grass owl or the eastern grass owl, which in African's case is just the African grass owl, weirdly, which are the probably only a few owls that actually don't live in trees. So, yeah, starting off with, as you can see, is with basically similar um, body and feathers as the Australian version, but a little bit different. So yeah, it has like a creamy face with dark, with a lightish brown with black spots. So and long legs, especially those legs. Don't know why, but yeah. Anyway, this is actually a pretty medium bigish owl with a maximum length of 42 centimeters. So it's not a small grass owl by any measures, but yeah. And its wing length is between 283 to 345 whatever mm is. Still don't know what that is, but yeah. So, the African grass owl is again a nocturnal bird. So, although I don't know why I keep saying this, but yeah, it's nocturnal. It's nocturnal. There are been other non-nocturnal owls, but they're doing about like 5 or 10 dry, whatever hell is the daytime for awake birds or morning birds or whatever you want to call them. Only about 10 out of 374. So yeah, they. Now here's what really cool is that they rest during the day on the ground in grass, like those African grass that were all brownish and basically where cute, lovable lions, cheetahs, and leopards, and whatever help or big cats live. That grass, that nice grass. Well, I think it's that. I'm not a grass person. I'm an owl person, not a grass person. There's a difference. Anyway, they make tunnels like the barn owl. Well, except the barn owl doesn't make tunnels, but they do make tunnels apparently in the surrounding grass. So yeah, they can make several meters apparently, and with other connecting tunnels. So yeah, it's basically a dome platform and stuff. So yeah. Um, yeah, they usually at the end is basically several nests or daytime roosts. Basically means it's just chewing there, you know. That's basically roosting means. It's just basically chewing and just all fluffed up, you know. That's basically what roosting is, in my opinion, because that's what necessarily is, because there's just roosting, standing there all pretty. I'm making a rant. They often pair roost together, so, and sometimes have like small groups as well. So yeah, and of course they will become active like non-roost at usually sunsets, and they basically hunt at night for yeah. Unlike the eastern grass owl, they actually hunt rodents and other small mammals up to 100 kilos. So that's pretty heavy, and they usually take it from the ground. They sometimes they catch bats, which is impressive. Actually, that is very impressive. They also eat large insects and small birds in the air, by the way, in the air as well as on the ground. So that's pretty impressive. Now their hunting tactic is basically like flying low over the ground and just listening and watching. So they flying low and they just, you know, use their heads and eyes just spot prey. But they also from time to time hunt from the perch, or as I like to call it, the sit and wait tactic, basically. Their calls are basically the same as the barn owls and other types of grass and barn owls and mask owls. Usually, basically the same, but with less stride, apparently. So I haven't heard them, so I don't know if that's entirely active. Try to find it. But as are basically the most quietest bird, from whatever reason. So yeah. Now, off to their breeding and whatnot. Their breeding is from December to now, which is August, so birthday month. The mainly the breeding season actually starts from February to April. So horning December to August, but mainly breeding is February to April. That's when all the eggs basically turn up, I think. But mainly December to August. But, well, August, yeah, fuck. Yeah, but mainly to December to August, basically, when it starts, you know. Sometimes in December, sometimes in August, January, July and June, but most of the time, February and autumn. Yeah. The nest is a shown. Basically what I said before, basically. Just shallow hollow line of grass each term, but yeah, yeah, but basically the general stuff of ours. I'm I'm loving myself already. So I usually ate about 2 eggs and mainly 2 to 3 eggs, sometimes 4. But yeah. Uh, yeah. The the female insects alone, of course, like every other single owl. Um, while the male usually does all the hunting, so yeah. Incubation starts with the first and last eggs about 32 to 42 days. So around a month to a month and 2 weeks or a week or something like that. Uh, the young fed by the female using food brought by the male is about, I'm guessing 10 days, although it's usually about 8. So when they start eating real food, I think. I don't know why, but yeah. Don't quote me on that. Um, uh, both pies feed their chicks of the male and female. When the nesting is about 4 weeks old, the female no longer roosts at the nest, which is weird. But yeah, again, I guess that's tradition. At week 5, the young begins exploring around the nest and just start wobbling, and or the owlets, I should say, not the young, the owlets. I don't know why he says the young owlets. And at week 7, they train to be flying, just will flap their wings and crash into other trees because they never experienced other trees before, you know. I even know what trees. And after they fully adapted that, the owlets remain for their parents for about three more weeks before becoming independent. So yeah, that's been time of breeding season. So habitats, not habits. What? God damn it. The habitat is basically grasslands to open savannas up to 3,200 meters above sea level, I think. It's actually pretty high. They also may found in dry grasslands at high altitudes in whatever the hell that says, and on Mount Kenya in East Africa, which or South East Africa, I should say, not East. There's North, East, and South East. And I'm pretty sure Kenya is in the southeast of Africa. So, yeah. And they really like long grass also, so yeah. So where you can find this owl? Well, you can find it in west, central, and east. And in part of researching the map for these guys, they Kenya's in the east, not southeast. My geography is wrong because Ethiopia is also in the east, also right next to Kenya. So yeah, I mixed up of how south these countries are. So yeah, you find them in basically the west side of the Republic of Congo, northwest of Angola, parts of Zambia, most of the time in Zimbabwe, and in South Africa in basically in east part of and southeast of South Africa. Sorry. In Malia, not in where the hell that says. You can also find them in. Gosh, I'm gonna butcher this. Grenada and whatever the hell that start with a B, and a little bit in the northwest part of Cameroon. So yeah, that's the east. No, that's the African grass owl in a nutshell. Owl is probably not as known, but is an island African owl, or I like to call in full the red Madagascar barn owl. So this barn owl is basically red with a reddish black and a light. It's sort of like a light brownish type owl, like a mask. Similar to the gold owl, but much more reddish, you know. It has a similar appearance to the barn owl, but more like a maroon. I say a maroon-ish type color than a reddish, but I digress. It has little dark spots on it. Sort of very, 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 very beautiful owl to look at too. Like very, very. It's a beautiful owl, and it's also got black eyes like the rest of the owl family. It's similar-ish to the barn owl with 28 to 30 centimeters of a recording, and basically has smallish wing length and weight. So yeah. Apparently, no one knows what the hell this barn owl habits, but from my guessing, it's a little on the west side of east side of Madagascar. You find it along sort of on the coast on some parts, but then on the top of the east, you will find on the coast too. But yeah, so usually on find the east. It hunts along the edge and fence line. Also, apparently in rice fields, apparently. So, did not know that Madagascar has even rice fields. So, real fun fact there. And it basically eats small rodents and insects. Don't know what its hunting tactics, but my guess is just either sit and wait or fly. So, trying to find out there. It nests in tree. Oh gosh, I don't know what that word is. Cavities. I don't know. Uh, words are hard, you know. Um, uh, yeah, the nestings probably similar to the nestings around those. Apparently, in the only recorded nest site is in July, so apparently when it's the end of the rainy season, the owlets begin fledging at 10 weeks of age, so a long period of just little tiny balls of skin, and they left their parents about 4 months later. It also apparently lays only 2 eggs, so yeah, we'd love to research this more, but apparently, yeah. Apparently, that's the only thing that they discovered. So, I don't know what type of research is going on right now, but that's what I'm going off with. So, yeah. You mean they basically, what I basically said is basically given the northeast and rainforest to clearings, forest edge, and rice paddies and scrublands. They also what my research is basically they are epidemic to Madagascar. So they're just as vulnerable. So they're vulnerable, but they're not threatened. So at least, well, hopefully not threatened. So hopefully someone out there is doing their best to research the shit out of these owls. And hopefully new information will come to light. So, yeah. Or something of them. Is the Zug Scope owl. Basically, how do I say this? Basically, you have like a little tiny owl that has like a grey and dark version of them, like little tiny ball of fluff that has like well, as you can see, like what you're looking at basically. Don't have to describe this, but they're very, very cute. Probably my favourite African scoop owl is since they have little ear tufts and There's some of them like orange, brown, grey, and then like sort of like a very very rare dark reddish um morph. I would probably call this. So yeah, they've definitely been one of the top 10 killer sows in Africa. Probably top 10 killer sows in the world, actually, in my opinion. But I digress. This sow is very, very, very small, like 16 to 18 centimeters. So you could just tickle them almost. Although I am pretty sure 95% of humans trying to tickle them would just like just scratch them. They like roosting during in like low camping trees. So yeah, very 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 cute animals. Their voice is a ceiling, basically like a high whistling notes, about 1 second notes per second, like little like whistling. They also many other calls, but this one's just a Pacific call. So yeah, and their prey is the of choice is basically insects and other mainly small invertebrates and stuff. Not sandstone. So yeah. Trying to find what their breeding season is, but had no luck. So they just nest in tree holes. Don't know why no one's have studied this, but my guess is they too can't be bothered. So yeah, they love wood, wooden and forest trees taller than 3 to 4 meters. They also like above sea level from 50 to 770 meters. And they also, in Tanzania, is 200 to 400 meters above sea level. Okay, now they are very very rare in Kenya. So they academic to basically the same forest name near the southeast of coast of Kenya, and in the mountains in the east, in northeast in Tanzania. So they basically the Kenyan land basically in small type, basically right next to each other in the border, not too far away in both in border. So yeah, and they listed as endangered. So hopefully someone in that day, either Africa or any other, is researching and studying these cute, lovable birds, and hopefully get their population back. Next owl is Tortuga scope owl. Now I try to find high and mild about this owl, but nothing, absolutely nothing. Don't know why, but researching, well, basically all the scope owls is basically hard to come by. So Yeah, this owl is basically like a grey owl with white spots with little um, grey stripes, or like a grey and white thing. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, little. You see what I mean. This owl is also um, in Madagascar, the same as the reddish barn owl, Madagascar owl. So really quite cool. But unlike that, I have no idea where what its status or something. I don't know. But it's cute owl. I'm guessing by looks of things, like strays. The two white face owls, which is a very cute owl. You've probably seen some people online have this owl. I know about 2 or 3 on TikTok I've seen about some combination of the owls. So yeah, this one is a north white-faced owl, and you can tell because it has like the the yellow type instead of the reddish. That's the difference between the two. And not exactly small, but not exactly medium. They are in the average type. So yeah, like in between medium and small. Smavage. With small vage. Whatever. Yeah. A very cute owl with a white face with black feathers on the side of things with quite a tall, long ear tufts. But they mostly in grey and white, greyish owl with a white face, basically. Basically, what you're looking at. They're also very quiet too. Only about a handful of people actually know what they sound like. And I will do a video about that. Of every single of how that known to Africa. So yeah, they're very quiet, very yeah. In they're very nocturnal birds, so they love the night as they do. And yeah, they roost on against a tark a tark. They basically roost against a tree trunk, so they like with a tree trunk, basically a trunk of a tree, they they usually love intense foraging, thorny shrubbery, and they just like to hide in very good hiding places, like trees with lots of leaves. They're very shy birds. Friendly, but shy. And cute. Um, they very well camouflage as well. Like they very like blending up to the north. Sorry about that. Okay. The white face owl is very camouflaged. Um, it's basically looks like a long stick with a sort of skinny, but I wouldn't say a stick. I would say part of the branch, pretty much. You know when you see it. They also often roost quite close to another one outside of breed season. Also, they gave the roost at dusk and trying to perch to perch. Yeah, you can hear them at any time of night, but most frequently at dusk or just before dawn, technically. Actually, what do they sound like? They often sound like a woo woo sort of type of song, I guess, like that. Like I basically sound like. Yeah. Female song is a bit similar, but weaker and higher pitch. So, yeah. There's also a low weak too weak song thing. Don't know. Trying to hear that, but yeah. By both sexes is like a fuck contact call. I don't know why that's so hard. They also have like a squeaky growl when threatened, or when they're in their threatened stance. They're now time for the food and hunting. They eat a lot of things like insects type, such as arachnids like spiders and scorpions, insects like beetles, critters, and flying insects like moths. They also target small reptiles, birds, and mammals, and rodents and swirlers, whatever they are. They do the all done from perch, and they usually sweep and then grab on the ground. And you usually find parents at the roost. If the site is for some time. So yeah. So breeding, here comes the juicy bit. At the start of the breeding season, the male is very vocal. Sing or calling or vocal from different perches in its territory and nested sites or potential nesting sites. The male approaches the female and bobs its head up and down while in holes or holes or crevices in old trees or old sticks, nests from larger birds in bush or trees. The chosen site is normally in 2 to 8 meters above ground and may use the nesting site by the same pair for several years. So eggs are recorded from January from September. So don't know why that's a large gap, but that's when usually breeding seasons start. They normally have one egg per year or clutch per year, usually 2 or 3, and they have like white shine eggs. Usually from about 2 days interval from one another. So yeah, usually they start basically 2 eggs, about 2 days, one from Martha. So, but usually just 2 or 3. Incubating, the male just brings the food. No, yeah. The male usually provides food while the female starts incubating. So, yeah. It usually lasts about 30 days while the female just turns the eggs frequently during about the 30-day period. And 7 days after the chicks or the owlets start to hatch, they are able to sit up. So that's quite impressive. Usually owls sit up at like 15 to 12 days, so they start early. And at 27 days, the owlet's fully feathered and may leave the nest to climb in near branch. So their lungs start out very quickly, like grow very quickly for some reason. So and by 30 to 32, they are able to fly. So they very fast grown owls. And for at least 2 weeks, they just care for, and then they will leave the nest. So very awesome. The most preferred habit is the drive savanna with falling trees, and not too dense forests and woods and water coast. Well, not coast, water. Somewhere with water. They also found in savanna with scattered trees and dry open forests and woodlands with close canopy, forest edge and coolings. Absent from desert and dense tropical rainforests. Now you can find these as from the central to the east to Somalia, or Somalia, or whatever the hell that place called with the Somalia. Somaliland. I'm just going to call it Somaliland because that's how you do it. Yeah, very, very cool house. So you can find them basically in the central. Now for basically their cousins or their relatives or whatever the hell you want to call them. The southern white-faced owl. These owls are basically the same, but with reddish orangey owls. I mean eyes, not owls. Yeah. They basically the same. The only difference is they have like orange eyes for some reason. They're a bit smaller and lightweight and less of a wingspan. But they mainly just the same with their northern brethren. Unlike their northern brethren, they have like a little bit different calls with a or something like that. Basically what I sound like. Basically like that. Listening to these owls is like listening to music. So yeah, that's basically one of the sounds. Haven't heard any other sounds, but yeah. They basically feed on the same prey, like arachnids, small birds, reptiles, and basically the works. Basically, the same prey as the northern brethren, and they basically similar hunting strategy, but apart from that, they glide instead of swoop straight away. So yeah. Their prey is normal taken from a branch, and they basically do the same. Yeah. So they basically have the same breeding patterns, remains very, very local. But apart from the northern brethren, they actually start at dusk instead of at night, during the night. So, yeah. So, although here's another interesting thing, that the females will answer her mate with a faint shriek, like a or something like that. I don't do it justice, but I'm not good at shrieking. I am good at yelling though. I'm an ST yeller. I breeding starts at April, and then egg laying starts at May. So I guess breeding starts at May and November. While apparently locally during the dry season in July and August. So yeah, and they generally have the same type of, pretty much the same thing as the northern brethren though. Their owlets usually just grow quite quickly and stand above, but yeah, you know. So basically the same as the northern, but a little their own sass. And they basically live in the same climate. But these owls avoid dense rainforests and treeless deserts. So, yeah. And you can find them in the south, where countries like the Democratic Republic of Congo in the south, Uganda, Kenya, and Tanzania, Angola, Zambia, Mali, Mons, whatever the hell that is, Zimbabwe, Botswana, Namibia, and Eswatini, and the north side of South Africa, and where the hell that country says. So, yeah. And they're quite common, locally common as well. So, yeah, quite a special owl. Or owls, I should say. Now, for the eagle owls. The Pharaoh eagle owl is a big owl. His weight about 2 kilos, and yeah, basically 2 kilos, or in, although I don't know, is it 2 kilos or just 2,300 grams, which basically it is 2 kilos. I don't know what grams and kilos. I'm not a grams or kilos person, even though I've done baking and stuff. So don't quote me on that. Anyway, this owl is basically a white owl with a lot of black spots on its back with whitish colouring with ear tufts, and it's a big owl. So yeah, they can grow 45 to 50 centimeters, which is big, although not as big as the powerful owl or the rufous owl, or the Australian mask owl, but still pretty big. Um, they become active after sunrise or sunsets, so basically at night. um, they like roosting between rocks, so either on the ground or in the steep cliffs or caves. So pretty much like the sooty owls. They like caves for some reason, or rocks. Sometimes trees, but mostly rocks for some reason. The song is like boo, like a boo or bow or whatever, like a woo, boo, or whatever hell eagle sound this eagle sound. I don't know. The female has a similar but higher pitch, like a boo type sound during their courtship or their mating, I should say. You know what I mean. Their other one is like a ho, like a whoo type sound. Similar, sometimes only parts of this phrase for some reason. Don't know why. It usually lasts about 8 seconds during their mating. So yeah. The pharaoh and owl is basically mainly on small vertebrates or mammals, birds and reptiles, but also recording of insects and scorpions for some reason. Don't know why, but sometimes. But they mainly hunt of rodents, which consists of hares, bats, desert foxes, and hedgehogs. That's cool. And they normally sit and wait. So sit and wait from a perch. So yeah. Now their breeding season. Their breeding consists of mainly of generally paired for life. So they and maintain the same territory for years. The nesting is basically rocks and rocks. So mainly of the shallow scraps rocks. So think about rocks and think about where they put them in rocks. So they rocky type owl. They love mainly in the desert of sub-Sahara. Sometimes trees or holes or old nests from large bird use. Clutches are usually um, 2, sometimes 4, with white eggs, of course, good old white eggs. They directly on the nest sites. There's a 2 to 4 egg laying from each egg that lays, usually just 2, but sometimes 4. And the females incubate alone, as they do. Incubate lasted for 31 to 36 days, and owlets usually breed and feed by the female alone for about 2 weeks, and then the owlets usually leave at 20 to 35 days, and then full fledged about 52 days. So they start exploring about 20 to 35 days later, or something like that. And then 52 days max, so a lot longer than most owls. Yeah. And then they usually guide and fed by both parents from about 20 to 26 until they reach their maturity in the following year, hatching. But do not normally breed before 2 years of age. So they don't normally breed before reaching their 2nd year. So whether they mostly live rocky, mainly rocks in deserts and semi-deserts and mountains and cliffs, and rocky mountain slopes with trees or scrubs or oases, and occasionally in dry surroundings. So, which countries have these awesome birds? Quite a fair bit. Mainly in the northwest, like Morocco. That countries that start with T, and where Carthage used to be. Algeria, Mali, Chad, Egypt, Sudan, and Chad, and then you can find them in the Middle East, in parts of Saudi Arabia, mainly in Israel, Jordan, and Palestine, and upon the south east of Iraq. And you can find them in Qatar and Oman. So, yeah, that's about it, really. That's some of the hours of Africa, and yeah, so have a good one. Thanks for watching, and yeah, stay classy.